Ladies and gentlemen, we all come to points in our lives where we feel stuck, where we feel that the world is moving forward and we are left behind. But let me tell you something today. That feeling of being stuck is not the end. It's not your conclusion. It's a moment, a phase, and most importantly, it's an invitation to reset, to start over. You see, life doesn't follow a straight path. It's a winding road filled with unexpected turns, obstacles, and moments where you may feel lost. But those very moments, those challenges, are the things that shape us, that help us grow. You may feel like everything is falling apart around you. You may feel like you're not good enough, like you're not strong enough, or like the world is just too heavy to carry. But let me remind you of something vital. Strength isn't about how many battles you win. It's about how many times you rise after falling. The idea of resetting your life isn't about erasing the past. It's about reframing it. It's about understanding that your past, no matter how dark or difficult, is the foundation for who you are becoming. And yes, you are becoming. Every day you are evolving, you are shedding old skin, and you are finding new layers of yourself you never knew existed. To reset your life means to choose yourself, to choose hope, to choose resilience. It means refusing to stay in a place of pain and embracing the power you have within to change your story. When life knocks you down, you don't stay down. You rise, you reset, and you keep moving forward with purpose. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed or how many times you've been knocked down. What matters is how many times you are willing to get back up. Resetting your life means refusing to let your circumstances define you. You have the power to choose how you respond to every challenge, every hardship, and every setback. Remember, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to pause, to reflect, and to breathe. But don't ever let that pause become permanent. Resetting your life means giving yourself permission to grow, to evolve, and to step into the person you are meant to be. And that person, she's powerful, she's capable, she's unstoppable. So today I challenge you, reset your life. Do it not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Embrace the messiness of it all. Trust in your ability to adapt and let your past fuel your future. Because in the end, the most beautiful thing about life is that it's always up to you to decide when the reset begins. You're not broken. You're simply learning, growing, and becoming. And remember, your reset begins now. Embracing challenges is one of the most transformative mindsets you can adopt in your life. Life isn't linear, and it's certainly not a predictable journey. There will be moments that knock you down, moments that test you, challenge you, and push you beyond what you thought was possible. These challenges, though they may feel like setbacks in the moment, are often the very things that propel us forward in ways we can't yet imagine. When we think of challenges, we often think of them in negative terms. We see them as roadblocks, as detours that make our path more difficult. It's easy to feel defeated when life presents obstacles that seem insurmountable. But I've learned that those very challenges are not just obstacles to be endured. They are invitations. They are invitations to evolve, to stretch ourselves, and to discover what we are truly capable of. Challenges, when embraced with the right mindset, become the catalysts for personal growth. We've all been through difficult times, moments where life felt unfair or overwhelming. When we face a challenge, it can sometimes feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. We may feel small, helpless, or powerless in the face of adversity. But what if, instead of seeing these challenges as punishments, we started to view them as gifts? What if we began to see them as opportunities to unlock a deeper level of strength and resilience within ourselves? I've Every challenge we face is an opportunity for us to learn more about who we are. It's easy to coast through life when everything is smooth, but when life gets tough, that's when we truly discover the depth of our inner resources. When we're faced with adversity, we tap into parts of ourselves we never knew existed. We learn how to problem solve, how to stay calm under pressure, how to dig deeper for solutions. We learn how to be creative in finding ways to overcome the hurdles in front of us. Challenges are often the places where we discover new skills, new perspectives, and new strength. It's important to remember that challenges are not meant to break us. Yes, they might shake us to our core, but they're not there to destroy us. They're there to help us grow stronger. If we look at some of the most successful people in the world, we see that their success was not the result of a perfect, obstacle-free journey. They faced challenges too. They had their own battles, moments of doubt and times when everything seemed uncertain. What set them apart, however, was their ability to face those challenges with courage, perseverance, and a willingness to learn from them. They didn't see obstacles as walls. They saw them as stepping stones. When we learn to embrace challenges, we stop running from discomfort. We stop seeing difficult situations as something to avoid, and instead we see them as necessary for our personal development. Every challenge is a chance to push the boundaries of what we think is possible. It's a chance to confront our fears head on and come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more capable than we were before. This shift in mindset doesn't mean that challenges will always be easy. Of course, there will be times when you feel overwhelmed. There will be days when it feels like everything is going wrong and you wonder if you can make it through. But when you begin to embrace challenges as part of the process, those difficult moments become more bearable. You begin to understand that they're not permanent. You begin to recognize that even when you're in the midst of a struggle, you have the power within you to overcome it. It's also important to acknowledge that embracing challenges doesn't mean you have to do it alone. There's no shame in seeking support from others during difficult times. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, a therapist, or a community, there are people who want to walk alongside you as you face life's obstacles. Sometimes the greatest strength comes not from going through a challenge in isolation, but from leaning on others for support, advice, and encouragement. And even in moments when no one else understands what you're going through, you'll find that you're never truly alone in your struggle. One of the most powerful ways to embrace challenges is to reframe the way you think about failure. Many of us are afraid of failing because we associate failure with weakness or inadequacy. But in reality, failure is just a stepping stone on the path to success. Every failure teaches us something valuable. It shows us what doesn't work, what needs to change, and how we can approach the situation differently next time. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. When you embrace challenges, you also embrace the possibility of failure. But with the understanding that failure is not the end of the road, it's simply a detour that leads to greater wisdom. In fact, it's often through our most difficult challenges that we experience the greatest personal transformations. When things are going well, it's easy to stay in our comfort zones. But when life throws us curveballs, we have no choice but to evolve. We have to adapt, we have to innovate, and we have to rise to the occasion. The challenges we face force us to stretch beyond our limits, to reimagine what's possible, and to discover strengths we never knew we had. Another important aspect of embracing challenges is learning how to stay present in the face of adversity. When we're going through a tough time, it's easy to focus on what we've lost, what we're afraid of, or what we wish were different. But the key to navigating challenges with grace and resilience is to stay rooted in the present moment. Instead of fixating on the worst-case scenario, focus on what you can control right now. Take things one step at a time, and trust that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. One way to do this is by practicing mindfulness. by staying aware of your thoughts and feelings without letting them overwhelm you. This doesn't mean ignoring your emotions, but rather allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel without letting it consume you. When you embrace challenges with mindfulness, you give yourself the space to process the emotions that come with them and find clarity in the midst of the storm. Additionally, it's crucial to remember that challenges are often temporary. Just as seasons change, so do the difficulties we face in life. The difficult season you're in today may seem endless, but eventually it will pass. And when it does, you'll look back and realize how much you've grown because of it. You'll see that you've become stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you were before. Every challenge has an expiration date. It's just a matter of waiting for the right moment for things to shift. As you navigate life's challenges, it's also important to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during difficult times. Recognize that it's okay to struggle, it's okay to feel vulnerable, and it's okay to not have all the answers right away. We're all human and we all experience moments of doubt and fear. But the key is to be gentle with yourself during those moments. Understand that you don't have to be perfect and that struggling doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Embrace your imperfections and allow yourself the grace to grow through your challenges. When you learn to embrace challenges, you begin to see them as stepping stones on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. You start to view every obstacle, every setback, and every moment of adversity as an opportunity for transformation. Instead of shrinking away from the difficult moments, you walk through them with confidence, knowing that you are becoming stronger with each step. And as you do, you unlock a power within yourself that is far greater than any challenge that comes your way. Choosing yourself is one of the most important and empowering decisions you can make in your life. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others, to lose yourself in the needs and demands of the people around you, and to forget what truly matters to you. Society, family, friends, and even the inner voice of self-doubt can often push us to prioritize others over ourselves. But when you choose yourself, you are asserting your worth, your needs, and your right to live a life that aligns with your true desires. Choosing yourself is not about being selfish or dismissing the needs of others. Rather, it is about honoring your own existence, your well-being, and your happiness. It is about ensuring that you're able to show up as the best version of yourself, not only for others, but also for you. The act of choosing yourself begins with understanding that you are worthy of love, respect, and care. Often, we treat others with more kindness and patience than we extend to ourselves. We give others the benefit of the doubt, listen to their needs, and make sacrifices for them, but we forget to offer the same kindness to ourselves. It's as though we don't believe we are deserving of the same attention and care we give to others. And we are deserving. And we are. But the truth is, we cannot pour from an empty cup. If we are constantly giving to others without nurturing ourselves, we risk burning out, losing our sense of self, and ultimately feeling resentful. Choosing yourself means recognizing that your happiness, health, and well-being are just as important as anyone else's. Choosing yourself also means setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and preserving your peace of mind. Without boundaries, we can easily find ourselves overwhelmed by the demands and expectations of others. We may say yes to things we don't truly want to do, take on responsibilities that drain us, or ignore our own needs in favor of others. But when we set boundaries, we communicate to the world that our time, energy, and emotional well-being are valuable. Boundaries are not walls. They are the lines we draw to protect our space and our energy. They are an act of self-respect, a reminder that we cannot give to others if we are not first giving to ourselves. Sometimes, choosing yourself also means saying no. No to people, no to situations, and no to things that don't align with your values or your sense of purpose. It's incredibly powerful to understand that you have the right to say no without feeling guilty. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decisions to others. Saying no is not a reflection of selfishness. It is a reflection of self-awareness. It's an acknowledgement that your time, energy, and focus are precious, and you have the right to allocate them in a way that serves your growth, peace, and happiness. Choosing yourself is also about prioritizing your own growth and dreams. We often get so caught up in caring for others or fulfilling the roles we think we should play that we forget to nurture our own aspirations. We may spend years putting our dreams on hold, convincing ourselves that we will have time for them later or that they are not as important as the needs of others. But the reality is, if we don't make our own dreams a priority, we may find ourselves living a life of regret, wishing we had done more to pursue what we truly wanted. When you choose yourself, you make space for your dreams, passions, and ambitions. You invest in your own growth, whether it's through learning new skills, taking risks, or making changes that move you closer to the life you envision. Choosing yourself also means embracing your imperfections. It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparison, of measuring your worth based on the achievements and successes of others. We often forget that everyone's journey is unique, and there is no single definition of success. Choosing yourself means accepting that you are enough just as you are, without the need for validation or approval from anyone else. It means being comfortable in your own skin, flaws and all. By accepting yourself fully, you allow yourself the freedom to grow, to make mistakes, and to evolve without the pressure of perfection. Choosing yourself requires the courage to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful acts of strength we can practice. It takes courage to open up, to show the world who you truly are, and to share your fears, dreams, and struggles with others. Choosing yourself means embracing vulnerability, knowing that it is through our vulnerability that we connect with others and experience the full richness of life. When you choose yourself, you also make the conscious decision to protect your peace. We all encounter negativity, whether it's from external sources or the negative self-talk that runs in our heads. Choosing yourself means not allowing this negativity to dictate your state of mind. It means surrounding yourself with positivity, with people who uplift you, and with situations that encourage your growth. It's about curating an environment that supports your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Choosing yourself isn't always easy. It requires self-awareness, courage, and a willingness to be honest with yourself. It may require difficult decisions, such as walking away from toxic relationships or changing habits that no longer serve you. But when you choose yourself, you begin to align your life with your true values and desires. You begin to live authentically, unapologetically, and with intention. And by doing so, you not only enrich your own life, but also become a more empowered and fulfilled person who can offer the best version of yourself to the world. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful yet challenging concepts in life. We live in a world that values quick results and instant gratification. We are conditioned to believe that success should happen quickly, that everything should fall into place right away, and that if something doesn't work out immediately, it's a sign of failure. However, life doesn't always work in that way. The true path to growth, to achievement, and to fulfillment is often a slow and winding journey. Trusting the process means having the patience to allow things to unfold naturally, even when the outcomes are not immediately visible. One of the most difficult aspects of trusting the process is accepting uncertainty. We are naturally inclined to seek control, to want to predict the future, and to know exactly how things will turn out. But in reality, we can't always control how things will unfold. There are too many variables, too many unknowns, and too many factors that are outside of our influence. When we step into something new, whether it's a project, a new career, a personal goal, or even a relationship, we cannot always foresee the challenges, the lessons, or the timing of the outcome. Trusting the process means embracing that uncertainty, knowing that it's okay not to have all the answers right away. Trusting the process also involves letting go of the need for immediate validation. In a world where social media and external metrics often dictate our sense of success, it's easy to fall into the trap of needing constant approval or acknowledgement. We can become obsessed with checking progress, comparing ourselves to others, or seeking praise for every small step. But true growth doesn't come from external validation. It comes from the internal process of learning, growing, and evolving, even when no one else is watching. When you trust the process, you let go of the need for immediate acknowledgement and instead focus on the work itself. You keep moving forward even when the results are not yet apparent, because you understand that every small step is part of the larger picture. A crucial part of trusting the process is understanding that setbacks are not failures but lessons in disguise. On any journey, there will be obstacles. Times when things don't go according to plan, when we make mistakes, or when we encounter challenges that seem insurmountable. It's easy to view these setbacks as signs that we're on the wrong path, that we've failed, or that we're not cut out for whatever we're pursuing. However, when we trust the process, we begin to see these setbacks as integral parts of our growth. Every setback teaches us something valuable. It shows us where we need to improve, where we need to shift our approach, or where we need to be more patient. Trusting the process means seeing the value in the struggle and knowing that each difficulty is helping us get closer to where we want to be. Another aspect of trusting the process is cultivating patience. We live in an age where we want everything instantly. Instant communication, instant information, and instant results. But personal growth, success, and meaningful achievements take time. The most important things in life are rarely achieved overnight. They require dedication, hard work, and perseverance over the long term. Trusting the process means being patient with yourself and with the journey. It means giving yourself the space to grow, to make mistakes, to learn, and to evolve without rushing to the finish line. It's understanding that time is an essential part of the equation and that success doesn't happen without consistent effort over time. Sometimes trusting the process also means stepping outside of your comfort zone. We often feel safe when things are familiar, when we can predict the outcome of our efforts. But growth happens when we challenge ourselves, when we push ourselves beyond what we already know and are comfortable with. Trusting the process means being willing to take risks, to try new things, and to step into the unknown. It means understanding that discomfort is a sign of growth, not failure. It's in those moments of uncertainty, of stretching beyond our limits, that we learn the most about ourselves and what we're truly capable of. It's also important to recognize that trusting the process is not about waiting passively for things to happen. It's about active engagement, doing the work, and showing up every day, even when you don't see immediate results. Trusting the process means committing to the journey, even on days when you feel discouraged or when it seems like nothing is changing. It's about showing up with consistency, belief, and dedication, trusting that your efforts will eventually pay off, even if it takes time. Each day that you put in the work is a step forward, even if the progress is not immediately visible. The key is to keep going, even when you can't yet see the fruits of your labor. Trusting the process requires a mindset shift. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success happens only in linear progression, but life doesn't work that way. Sometimes progress is slow, messy, and full of setbacks. Trusting the process means embracing the unpredictability of life, accepting that the path is rarely a straight line, and being okay with the detours, the challenges, and the obstacles that come along the way. Each twist and turn contributes to your growth, and each step, even if it feels like a setback, is part of the larger journey that will ultimately lead you to where you need to be. Trusting the process is also about maintaining faith in yourself and your ability to navigate the ups and downs. It's about believing that even in moments of uncertainty or difficulty, you are capable of finding a way through. It's about understanding that the process itself has value and that the person you become in the process of working towards your goals is just as important, if not more so, than the end result. It's not just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. The truth is, trusting the process is not always easy. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when impatience arises, and when the outcome seems uncertain. But when you commit to trusting the process, you are committing to your growth, your development, and your future. You are choosing to believe that every effort, every challenge, and every moment of uncertainty is a necessary part of your journey. And by doing so, you allow yourself to move forward with faith and purpose, knowing that each step is bringing you closer to where you need to be. Reframing your past is one of the most powerful tools you can use to transform your present and shape your future. Many of us carry the weight of our past experiences with us, whether it's moments of failure, regret, or pain. We often allow those memories to define who we are today, and sometimes they limit us from moving forward. The truth is, however, that the past is not a fixed narrative. It is a story we tell ourselves, and it is within our power to rewrite it. When we look back on our lives, it's easy to get caught up in the things that went wrong, the mistakes we made, or the things we didn't accomplish. The human mind has a tendency to focus on the negative, often amplifying our regrets or past hurts. But this focus can trap us in a cycle of self-doubt and self-blame. The more we revisit our past through this lens, the more we reinforce the idea that we are limited by it. We begin to believe that our mistakes, failures, or hardships are the ultimate measure of who we are, and that they are the factors that will shape our future. But what if we stop seeing our past as a set of mistakes or failures? What if we viewed it instead as a series of lessons, each experience providing us with something valuable, even if it was painful or difficult at the time? Reframing your past involves changing your perspective on those experiences and seeing them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. When you reframe your past, you begin to understand that everything you've gone through, no matter how challenging, has contributed to your growth. Even the darkest moments hold lessons that are vital to your personal evolution. The mistakes you made weren't signs of weakness. They were opportunities to learn and evolve. The hardships you faced weren't punishments. They were moments that tested your resilience, shaping you into the person you are today. By reframing your past, you give yourself permission to let go of shame and guilt. Many of us carry these feelings from past actions or situations, believing that they define us, but in reality, they only hold power over us if we allow them to. Letting go of the negative emotions tied to your past frees you from the weight of those experiences. You no longer have to identify with the mistakes you made or the pain you endured. Instead, you can see those experiences as part of the journey, not the destination. One of the most important aspects of reframing your past is recognizing the role of forgiveness, both for yourself and for others. Often we hold on to resentment, anger, or regret because we feel that we were wronged or that we wronged ourselves. But holding on to these negative emotions only keeps us tied to the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened or excusing hurtful behavior. It means releasing the emotional hold that those experiences have on you. It means recognizing that holding on to anger or regret only keeps you stuck. By forgiving, you allow yourself to move forward, unburdened by the past. Reframing your past also means acknowledging that you are not the same person you were when those events occurred. We grow, we learn, and we change with every experience. So, while your past may have shaped you, it does not define you. You are constantly evolving, and the person you are today is not limited by who you were yesterday. Understanding this can be incredibly freeing because it means that no matter what you've been through, you have the power to create a new story. You have the ability to shape your future based on the lessons learned from your past, not on the mistakes or regrets that you might have been carrying. Another key part of reframing your past is practicing gratitude. It might sound counterintuitive, but learning to find gratitude in even the most difficult experiences can be incredibly healing. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lost or what went wrong to what you gained. What did those challenges teach you? What strengths did you discover within yourself that you didn't know existed? How did those struggles make you more compassionate, more empathetic, or more resilient? By focusing on the growth that came from hardship, you begin to shift your perception of the past from something negative to something that helps shape you into a more powerful version of yourself. This reframing process doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and practice, but it is worth the effort. When you start seeing your past as a source of strength rather than a source of shame or regret, you open the door to a future filled with possibility. You no longer see yourself as a victim of your past, but as a survivor. Someone who's faced challenges, learned from them, and emerged stronger. Reframing your past also means taking ownership of your story. Too often we let our past define us in ways that are disempowering. We let the things we've been through determine our worth or limit what we believe we're capable of. But when you take ownership of your narrative, you reclaim your power. You understand that your past does not define your future unless you allow it to. You can choose to see yourself as a person who has overcome, who has grown, and who has the ability to continue evolving. It's important to remember that your past is just one chapter in your story. It does not have to be the defining chapter. You are the author of your own life, and you have the ability to continue writing your story no matter what came before. Every day is a new opportunity to create a new chapter, one that reflects the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the person you are becoming. Reframing your past isn't about erasing it. It's about embracing it as part of your journey and using it to propel you forward into a future that you have the power to create. Rising after every fall is one of the most defining qualities of resilience. Life doesn't come with a guarantee that everything will always go as planned. In fact, quite the opposite is true. We will all face moments where we fall, moments where things don't work out the way we hoped, where we make mistakes, or where life throws us curveballs that we never saw coming. But what truly matters in those moments is not the fall itself, but our ability to rise again. When we fall, it's easy to become discouraged. We may start questioning ourselves, our decisions, and our worth. The weight of failure can feel suffocating, especially if it's not the first time we've stumbled. We can become so focused on the pain of the fall, the frustration of not getting it right, or the fear of what others might think, that we forget one simple truth. Falling is a part of the process. It doesn't define who we are or how far we can go. The true measure of our strength lies in how we respond to the fall. Rising after every fall doesn't mean pretending that the fall didn't hurt or that we're not affected by setbacks. It means acknowledging the pain, facing the disappointment, and then deciding not to let it be the end of our story. Life will always have its ups and downs, and success is rarely linear. The path to greatness, to achieving our dreams, is filled with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. But each time we rise, we grow stronger. We learn more about ourselves, our strengths, and the tools we have within us to face what's next. One of the first steps in rising after a fall is giving yourself permission to feel. Too often, we're told that we should move on or get over it quickly after a failure. We are encouraged to mask our emotions and keep pushing forward, even if we haven't fully processed what's happened. But it's crucial to allow ourselves the space to grieve, to feel frustrated, sad, or angry. These emotions are natural, and they're part of the healing process. It's in that space of feeling our emotions fully that we begin to gain clarity, strength, and understanding. By processing what's happened, we're not only healing, but also preparing ourselves to move forward with a stronger sense of purpose. After giving yourself permission to feel, the next step in rising is reframing the experience. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of the situation, but rather choosing to see it from a different perspective. Every fall, every setback carries a lesson. It may take time to see it, but within every failure is an opportunity for growth. What can you learn from this experience? What did it teach you about yourself, your goals, or the world around you? Often, our most painful experiences are the ones that provide us with the greatest wisdom. They teach us how to be more resilient, more adaptable, and more empathetic. In addition to reframing the situation, another key to rising after every fall is understanding that progress isn't always linear. We often measure success by how quickly we can bounce back or how soon we can get back on track. But the truth is, recovery doesn't always happen on a set timeline. Sometimes it takes time to process, to rebuild, and to come back stronger. It's important to be patient with yourself and not rush the process. Healing takes time, and success doesn't always come immediately after failure. There's no shame in taking a step back to reassess, regroup, and reorient yourself before moving forward again. Another crucial element of rising after a fall is the willingness to ask for help. No one should have to face challenges alone. When you fall, it's okay to lean on others, whether it's friends, family, or mentors. They can provide the support, perspective, and encouragement you need to help you rise again. Sometimes our falls make us feel isolated, as though we're the only ones going through difficult times. But the reality is that everyone faces challenges at some point, and there are people out there who want to lift you up and walk with you through your recovery. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to acknowledge that you need support and to reach out when you need it most. The act of rising after every fall is also deeply connected to the idea of self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. We can be our own harshest critics, blaming ourselves for mistakes or failures, but practicing self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we would offer to a friend going through a difficult time. We all make mistakes and we all experience setbacks. That doesn't make us any less worthy of love, success, or happiness. Treat yourself with care and remind yourself that falling is just a part of the journey. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it. It's about understanding that falling is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be the end. Every time you rise, you gain new strength, new perspective, and new skills. You become more confident in your ability to face life's challenges and more determined to keep moving forward. Rising after every fall is a continuous process. It's not about how many times you stumble, but about how many times you rise. Dust yourself off and keep going. Each rise is a victory in itself, a testament to your strength, perseverance, and courage. The more you practice this, the more you realize that setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities to grow, to learn, and to evolve into the person you are meant to be. Rising after every fall means you are not defined by your failures, but by your ability to overcome them. You are not your mistakes. You are the person who rises from them, who learns from them, and who continues to move forward with greater wisdom and strength. And with each rise, you get closer to becoming the person you're destined to be.